Hi everyone, it's Mizzo. So I heard there was a little bit of confusion about our big projects, and I think I'm partially to blame for that. So I'm making you a fabulous video to really explain them out so everybody's on the same page. And Amy, I'm totally going to answer your question from on the forum board for everybody here. So the first thing is, remember, and I've mentioned this in other videos, but we're talking about two big group projects, and they're laid out really clearly in the syllabus. So you may want to go pull that up so you kind of know what I'm talking about. It's in the part of the syllabus that sort of lays out the assignments and my kind of vision for the course. So there's two big assignments. They're both worth 300 points, okay? And I've started calling them the group, I think it's this side, the group analysis project and the in-class group project. Those are the two big group projects, okay? The group analysis project is an individual project. That's you observing in a group. So you go to the group and you observe in there a couple of times, take notes each time, and then are going to sort of look at your data and craft a reflection paper from that with themes, some really cool, hopefully you're seeing some really cool things. That's a paper you write on your own. That's the group analysis project. So that's the paper I posted like a week and a half ago and pointed you to it and said, this assignment's up, the due dates are coming. I spread them out so that you have plenty of time to be thinking about that and doing it. My goal there, as it says very clearly in the description, it looks like this. So very clearly in the description it says, that I really wanted you doing a group you were already a part of, right? Some of you have asked some questions and had some really great ideas. One of you wants to do their work. Really cool. I will say that you want to make sure that whatever group you're doing fits the definition of a group. So I've had a couple people sort of ask about like social structures, like families or roommates, and that's fine, except that you it's going to be slightly different if you're just hanging out or living together, right? You want to be able to sort of identify a goal. So let's say if all of your roommates live together, but you have to all clean the kitchen every Tuesday night, that would be a great time to observe, right? Because you're all trying to do something and you're trying to do it together. Or let's say all of you are trying to plan a party. You know, that would be a lovely time to observe because you're functioning as a group, not just four random individuals that live in the same house. So that's the group analysis project. Due dates are posted and I will have spots online to turn all of those things in. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. And that project is done on your own. So you find a group, and it's like baby ethnography. That's what I'm trying to do, right? I go, I look, I take notes, you know, record or look at my notes. I go again, I take more notes, and then I look at my notes, I find themes, I'm observing a group, I'm not just reading about a group, but I'm looking at a group, and you'll probably be participating in the group. Now, there has been some question about how will I take notes? So let's say I want to observe my football team, and it's really hard, Mizzo, to take notes while I am crashing and playing football. If you can, have something nearby. So let's say you're playing football or volleyball or some sort of sporty activity, and you, maybe every time you go get a drink of water, you can jot a couple words down to kind of help you remember. If it's something like a book club, right, you probably could just take notes while you're in it. Regardless of how you take notes, you will probably want to set aside some time to type those notes up and go back through them and sort of deepen them or clarify them. It doesn't have to be in the moment. All of your notes don't have to be in the moment, sort of fleshing those out. And so the notes from the first observation are due next Monday, so it's like Sunday, Monday at 2 a.m. And then you've got a couple weeks, and then your next set is due the 26th, and you have plenty of time then to craft your paper, which is due November 16th, 2 a.m., so think November 15th. So that's the group analysis project. Any questions on that? Put them up on the discussion board, and I will happily answer them. The next project is the project that we all discussed on the forum, not this week, but last week. And my goal for that, and I explained that in a video, is this idea that we would do an in-class, this side, we would do an in-class group project as groups. But instead of me assigning you, okay, you're in this group, this is your topic, this is what you're doing, I think we get better groups this way. So we tried to do it together. And it's taking a little bit longer because it's online, and I haven't been as good at giving feedback as I have wanted to be. But one thing that did happen is there were a couple of people that didn't participate. So what's great about that is instead of me assigning you groups and finding out 2 weeks in that someone isn't willing and doesn't want to participate, you're mitigating your own groups, which is really cool. So we currently have 3 groups. We have the long distance people, which is a group of 3, the sports people, which is a larger group, and the night owls, or the people who are looking at communication forms. And the idea is that now that you have established your group and kind of what you want to do, I want you to design the project. So you have 300 points. 25 of them I'm using for the project plan. And no matter what you do, I want a project plan because I want to know what you're doing. And basically the idea is what you need to design is the assignment sheet that a teacher would normally hand you, but you're the one creating the project, so you're going to design the project. And so they're basic information, right? I want to know the process. I want to know when the pieces are due. I want to know where the points are allocated. There's probably some level of reflection involved. There's a thing. There's going to be a thing. So what is the thing? Is the thing a paper? Is the thing a presentation? If it's a presentation, who are you giving it for? If the thing, does the thing need to be disseminated? So maybe you create it and then your goal is to share it with a group of people that it would be helpful for. What's the goal? What's the purpose? What's inspiring it? What are the logistics? Do you need anything? Is there anything that could go wrong, right? What's the timeline? Last week in the readings, I posted a bunch of readings that kind of helped do plans. They're all kind of laid out a little differently. Some of them are more businessy, some of them are more academic. But the idea is just kind of guiding you through those thought processes. And instead of me coming up with all of that, because it's your group project, your group comes up with that and creates something that's substantial, right? That fills the bucket, if you will. It's a 300-point bucket, 275 since you're going to take away 25 points for the plan. And so where are those points allocated? How is the timing laid out? I really don't want you to say, we're going to turn all of this in week 15 and it's worth 275 points. No feedback. Good luck. No, lay it out, right? So when is the first part? What does the first part look like? When is the second part? What does the second part look like? How many parts are there? How does it lay out? How much work do you want to have done by when? What's the standard you're all setting? Do you see what I'm saying? Kind of lay that out. And again, if you have any questions, just let me know. So those are the 2 assignments, right? You've got your group analysis project, which is your individual project that you're doing observation for. And then you've got your in-class group project, which you're working together in groups and designing. I originally thought about having those plans due like this week, but it coincides with the group analysis project. So I have a space online now for those plans, and I've pushed them all the way back to not this coming Tuesday, but the next Tuesday, which I believe is we're going to double check here, the 19th. And that definitely eats up some of your time, right? So if your group project elongates and you want to have some of it done already, that's fine. You can start working on it. If you want to get them to me earlier, that's completely fine. I just didn't want to limit that sort of talking and creative process since I know some of you are doing it from long distance. So where usually I'd give you a week, this I want you to have more freedom if you need it. If you don't, and you plan and you turn it in, I'll give you feedback. Good to go. A little higher. There we go. Good to go. And so then finally, Amy had a great question on the discussion board, and I went to type an answer, and I thought, I will explain it out, and that will be better. So thank you for your patience, Amy. She asked basically, what level of scholarly research should we be planning to do in these projects? And it's a great question. I think that there's another question that starts before there that helps me answer that. So the question that starts before there is, what's the point of the project? So if the point of the project is to create an academic paper, then yeah, you're going to want some really good scholarly research in there. If all of you have decided, you want really good writing samples for graduate schools, or you're just really into writing good research papers, then you're going to want some really good scholarly research. If the point is to disseminate to the public, you'll probably want some scholarly research and some more contextual or sources that are connected to the public. I'm amazed at how blogging or even what's it called? Like the Huffington Post blog, so more professional blogs have really taken off in the last 3 years. If you were doing a project on school policies and dress codes, school dress codes, you would certainly want to include the very famous article now about yoga pants, where she posted 2 pictures of the yoga pants. She blogged that. That's not scholarly. It's not peer-reviewed. That's off of her blog, but it has millions of views. So if you were doing that as a topic, you'd be pretty silly not to include that in your discussion and your research. So it really sort of depends. It's sort of a general discussion on sources, more abstractly, what is the context, what is legitimate, what's being useful, and you want it to feel legitimate however you do it. So it's a matter of what it's for and why you're doing it. I would highly recommend not doing a project just because, right? Have some sort of reason for why you're doing it, something you want to produce, something you want to deliver, present, or show, some sort of reason that's driving you, instead of like, oh, we're just going to catalog these things and be done, that won't sustain you, I don't think, very well. And I'm sure all of your projects will have some level of research. I would assume some level of sources or discussion, some level of reflection, some level of introspection or process or design, and that can manifest millions of different ways, all of those things combined, right? So hopefully that it helps and answers your question. Again, remember, the main goals are, for this project, the main goals are work in groups, and have a good time doing it, and do something you enjoy, actually have a decent time working in groups. That's the goal. Higher. There you go. Okay, so if you have any questions, let me know. And believe it or not, I'm going to Buffalo Wild Wings to watch the Cubs play tonight because my partner's a big Cubs fan, and the Cubs are playing in the wild card for the World Series. Can you believe that? All right, peace out. Have a beautiful day. Bye.